The recording started with laughter. Soft, intimate, familiar. I was standing in my office when my 14-year-old daughter slid her phone across the desk toward me. Her hands were shaking. Mine weren't. "Just listen, Dad." 3 words, then silence. I pressed play. Her mother's voice filled the room. Calm, casual, calculating. "He'll fight the divorce." Of course he will. But once the allegation hits, predator charges stick. The insurance payout alone is worth it. The kids will be fine with insurance money. A man chuckled in the background. My lungs forgot how to work. Predator, insurance payout. The kids will be fine. I stared at the wall while her voice continued, discussing lawyers, media sympathy, restraining orders, a script already written. My execution outlined between sips of wine. I did not speak. I did not blink. My daughter watched me like she was waiting for me to shatter. I didn't. I just replayed it twice. Then I locked my phone, leaned back in my chair, and finally understood why my wife had started photographing me at random angles. Why she'd insisted I hug the kids for memories. Why she'd suddenly mentioned increasing my life insurance policy 3 months ago. This wasn't anger. It was mathematics. And she had miscalculated. The affair was the first fracture. I had suspected it for months. The late calls, the gym membership she never used, the perfume that wasn't hers, but suspicion is a whisper. The recording was a verdict. She wasn't just unfaithful. She was preparing to erase me. I watched her differently after that night, observed her like a stranger wearing my wife's face. She still cooked dinner, still kissed my cheek, still called me love. Her performance was flawless, almost admirable. The man in the recording, Daniel, was someone I had shaken hands with at charity galas. A widower, investor, friend. He laughed while she planned my ruin. That part stayed with me. Not the betrayal of her body, the betrayal of strategy. She wasn't leaving me for him. She was leveraging me for profit. Insurance, public sympathy, child custody. She had chosen the most irreversible accusation possible, a stain that never washes off. Even acquittal would not resurrect reputation. I asked myself a simple question. Why now? Then I checked our finances. Large transfers, quiet withdrawals, a consultation fee to a law firm specializing in high-profile criminal defense. She wasn't improvising. She was rehearsing. But she made one mistake. She underestimated the child she thought she was protecting. My daughter had heard enough to know something was wrong. She had recorded her own mother planning my destruction. Children notice everything, especially when adults think they don't. I kissed my daughter's forehead that night and told her she did the right thing. Inside, something colder took shape. I would not confront. I would not accuse. I would dismantle. I hired a lawyer the next morning. Quietly, no dramatic consultations, no office visits. Just encrypted emails and private meetings under a different name. We documented everything. The recording was backed up to 5 locations, transcribed, time-stamped, authenticated. Then I did something she would never expect. I increased the insurance policy and made my daughter the sole irrevocable beneficiary. Not my wife, her. I changed my will, transferred assets into a trust controlled by an independent fiduciary. And then I purchased property in Switzerland, a villa overlooking Lake Geneva, glass walls, white stone, precision architecture. I did not tell anyone, not my wife, not my son, not even my daughter. I needed her to believe the plan was progressing. Meanwhile, I installed cameras in the house, legal, disclosed in fine print under security upgrades. I recorded her private conversations when Daniel visited. More planning, more rehearsals, more references to timing. "She'll testify if I cry," she said once. Kids always side with the mother. I listened without emotion. I began traveling more, creating distance, establishing an alibi pattern. Then the shift happened. She filed the first complaint. Concern about inappropriate behavior. A seed planted. But before it could grow, my lawyer requested an emergency hearing, with evidence attached. The courtroom was quiet in the way morgues are quiet. Sterile. Anticipatory. My wife sat across from me, dressed in pale blue, fragile, victim-shaped. Daniel sat behind her. I did not look at either of them. The judge nodded. My lawyer pressed play. The same laughter. The same wine glass clinking. Her voice filled the room again. He'll fight the divorce. But once the allegation hits, silence swallowed the air. Then The kids will be fine with insurance money. No one moved. My wife's face drained of color. Daniel stared at the floor. The judge removed his glasses slowly, as if buying time to absorb the ugliness. I finally looked at her. She looked small, not because she was caught, because she realized I had known. For weeks, maybe months, her lips trembled. "This is manipulated," she whispered. It wasn't. Metadata doesn't lie. Timestamps don't tremble. The judge called for a recess, but the damage had already detonated. After the hearing, she tried to approach me in the hallway. "Please," she said. "Just that." One word. I handed her an envelope. Inside were photographs. The Swiss villa. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Snow-touched mountains. Proof that I had moved everything. Every asset. Every contingency. Gone. "You wanted insurance," I said quietly. "You get nothing." Her calls started that night. 71 of them. Voicemails, tears, rage, bargaining. I did not answer. Daniel vanished from her life within days. Investors dislike scandal. So do lovers. Her legal fees mounted. Her credibility evaporated. The accusation was dismissed with prejudice, and I filed for divorce. Full custody. Using her own recording as Exhibit A. Cold. Exact. Final. I stood on the balcony of the villa 3 months later. Snow falling. Silence stretching across the lake like a sheet pulled tight. My daughter sat inside reading. Safe. My son was rebuilding trust slowly, carefully. As for her, she lost everything she tried to weaponize. Reputation. Marriage. Illusion. People ask me if I hate her. I don't. Hate requires heat, and I am no longer burning. I am precise. She thought she was planning my funeral. She was drafting her own. I didn't crush her. I simply let the truth speak, and truth is merciless.